Don't worry, boys. I'll step up to the plate again. Welcome to another episode of the official podcast. This is number 178, and today we're joined by the Good Samaritan of sausages, Ordinary Sausage, the premier sausage gourmet chef on YouTube. Please take the stage.
Oh, well, thanks for having me on the show, everyone. I feel like I'm the least known but the most anticipated guest to be on the show.
You've hit the scene by storm with your unrelenting aggression towards creating abominable sausages and sometimes even delicious ones. It is incredible what you've been able to do in a short amount of time on the platform. What's your secret?
Well, for me, the goal is always to make a delicious sausage, and I think part of the fun of it is when things start getting out of hand, and the sausage experiment turns south on me. I think that's what everyone seems to be enjoying the most.
It's like car crashes in NASCAR.
Yeah, but I'm out there trying to make the real deal there. I'm trying to make an actual sausage out of the food that I'm using. And real attempts are being made here, and I don't want anyone thinking that I'm purposely, bursting sausages on them. This is the real deal.
So you actually are trying at the end of the day to create a delicious sausage.
Yeah, and there's some of them like there was a round of holidays that we just went through for Passover and for Easter, and so those there was no chance that those were going to turn out well. So that was more of like a fun sausage episode. But the fast food ones, I'm really interested in turning those things into sausages.
Gonna make something for Ramadan.
Born?
I've been thinking about that, and I'm worried about cultural sensitivity issues.
It's funny how that's the only one where people get a little iffy about it. Every other culture is open season. I'll turn that into sausage, but no, not that.
The Jewish community got the joke. They didn't get angry that I was making fun of their cuisine, and they actually agreed with me that most of it is not that palatable for those who aren't experienced with it. But Ramadan, I'll have to feel that one out and see if there's any foods that people wouldn't get so angry about me.
Pick up on the vibe in the room.
Yeah, it's easy. Just take a Quran and turn it into a sausage. While drawing the profit.
While drawing the profit, yeah, that's a good way to get that channel going out there.
So Charlie just asked a good question though. Where did this love for sausages and sausage crafting come from?
Well, I'm not just a fan of sausages. I'm a fan of all sorts of foods. But I'm not a man of many talents. I know how to cook, and I just happen to have sausage making equipment. And I put my thinking cap on and said, hey, what if we shove a Big Mac down there and see what it tastes like as a sausage? And, you show it off to your friends, and they all laugh. And then the next thing you know, they show it to their friends. And now all of a sudden, I'm on a podcast telling my life story over here.
Isn't that the beauty of the internet? Just one man making sausages, making big waves online. I think that's beautiful.
Yeah, and I have to say, when I first put myself out there on YouTube, I was very concerned of the comments because, as we all know, the internet's full of, people who are not so nice. But I have to say, I'm going to say 99.999% of the comments have been overwhelmingly positive. So,
apart from that German individual who reached out to you to let you know how horrible of a human being you are.
Yeah, he was really angry. And Kaya, take this in the spirit in which it's intended, but you sound like a man who hasn't experienced any joy in his life.
It is pretty suspicious.
Sausage maker got that. Are you a sausage maker or a fortune teller?
Yeah. I'm just telling it.
It's
how
like
it
he's
is.
known you his whole life.
Yeah, I want to make sure everything's okay. We're going to have a podcast next episode.
Hey, man, it was just one message. I didn't mean to imply that I was going to gas you. It just appropriating sausages is not cool. By the way, I'm Turkish German, so I also get to hate on you if you do make something for Ramadan. So expect another hate message sometime in the future.
Listen, at some point, I'm just going to need you to ask me for my papers.
I think that there's a viable business here to be had because, in America, like bacon ice cream. So why not open up a shop where you sell novelty sausages of every variety?
Specialty sausages, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, surely that exists, right?
I'll bet you it does.
Yeah, I think it'd be a problem with repeat business. Sure, the novelty of the first time customer going in, but once you have the big beef and cheddar sausage once, I mean, I don't think there'll be too many people coming back.
I mean, if they're good, they will. All right.
I guess what I'm trying to say is I've thought about these things. You got to have a good business sense.
Well, if you ever need investors, we have lots of sponsors. Let's open up a nice, the official sausage shop.
Once all the coronavirus shit dies down, get a brick and mortar out there.
Ooh, do you think you could make us an official flavored sausage?
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, what would that consist of? What would be your raw ingredients?
You would need 4 main ingredients, right?
Well, yeah, exactly. The sausage needs to represent your personalities. So you guys tell me, like, who's the fiery Latino and who's the...
I was thinking
we already did the Germans. We shouldn't get everyone angry at me.
I could actually technically send you a Carolina Reaper I grew myself, and if you want, I can also send you a little strip of skin. If we're really gonna do this, just to mix it in there, just so it's official that some meat is in there.
Like a fucking seance.
Yeah, what?
Making a sausage.
Right, and there needs to be a little bit of kaya in it.
I had an idea on that. What we could do is the 4 of us, without telling everyone else, we pick an ingredient and then we send it to him. So that way he has 4 random ingredients, one from each of us, and he has to make a sausage out of it.
Listen, I'm up for whatever sausage games that you guys dream up of. So I'll be able to. If you want me to make pieces of a human kaya sausage, then that's what we're gonna do. I mean. I don't see anyone in the chat clamoring over the kaya sausage, but we'll do our best.
What's the shelf life on a sausage if you package it nice and tight? Because if we're gonna make that a tier on our Patreon, I don't know if it's gonna really sell real quick. We might have to encase it in acrylic.
You throw that on a block of ice.
Yeah.
I guess so.
Speaking of shelf life, I actually wanted to toss this to you because as you know, I recently dipped my toes into the very incendiary world of sausage making. It is much harder than it looks. The sausage casing is extremely hard to find. Do you order that online, or do you have like a man out of a van who sells it beyond Walmart? Where do you get your sausage casing?
Yeah, exactly. You make sure you go on the warmest days and no ice available, and you get your sausage casing from the guy behind the Walmart. I'm actually surprised to see so many people having trouble finding, authentic natural hog casing, because I just go to my butcher and he either sells me, the bucket in which he got it from, or he'll price it out based by the pound. I just go to my local butcher.
So is sausage casing what it sounds like? It's the outside of the sausage, the skin on the outside?
Yeah, that's right. It's made from the hog's intestines, and then it goes through a thorough cleaning process, and it's packed in a ton of salt because organs, they don't, it's organ meat, so, they don't last too long, so they pack it in a ton of salt.
I didn't know that either, by the way. I didn't realize that the sausage casing was the intestines. I don't know if you guys knew this, but it's the literal intestines from the hog. Yeah. I thought what it was just like an edible casing. I thought it was like, some kind of like candy casing shit made out of sugar or something.
They do.
Some kind of like natural thing they pluck from trees.
Yeah.
It would have to come from something.
There is a synthetic casing, and there's been a lot of people, vegetarians and vegans, who've been asking me to make a vegan sausage, so I'll have to special order the synthetic sausage casing. And I've never actually had it or have experience with making sausages with it, so that'll be a fun episode figuring that out. And I think we shouldn't leave out the vegetarians and the vegans, because sausages are primarily thought of a meat product. And why leave people out? Yeah. So the pizza one, I tried telling everyone. I said everyone gets on to me about the sausage cases, bursting, and they say, oh, you got to poke holes in it. In which one episode I did do that, and it burst even worse. And it's the food expanding inside of it because the steam isn't going out of the casing; it's going into the food and it's making it blow up. So that's why it's bursting.
Mm.
So,
Yeah, I can't imagine poking holes in that is ever a good solution. That's like the worst backdoor Redditor type shit right there.
And well, I think my audience has the best interest of the sausage. At the end of the day, we want to see those sausages.
I agree. I don't think it was malicious. I think it's just misinformation, or like growing up, your parents poking holes in the hot dog before they put it in the microwave, stuff like that.
Oh, is that how
So
you stop
do you
it
have
from
any?
doing that? Oh no, go ahead. Yeah. We'll get off the hot dogs for a second.
No, I want to keep going on about the hot dogs, but I was curious. You started talking about veganism and vegetarians. Have you had any confrontations with like actual aggressive vegans?
No. I've once again the positive comments mostly, and haven't heard from the vegan community or the vegetarian community that I'm doing awful work or should be taken down on YouTube. So I think people just see what it is. It's just a guy having fun, making sausages out of random stuff.
Charlie, do you think he's going to get heat now that he's associated with you?
I don't think so. I mean, that's like saying, why isn't Binging with Babish trying to get deplatformed just because he uses meat? It's just picking and choosing what communities want to go after who and when.
Well, I mean, as long as he isn't putting live squids in fucking sausages, that would be kind of a bummer
Yeah,
for the
the
animal.
pigs aren't alive when he's making sausage intestine. They're already dead.
Yeah.
I wonder if anyone's
Very
ever
much
like.
so. Hey,
How much sausage history trivia do you know? Do you know if anyone has ever like made a sausage out of their dead pet or anything?
oh, I'm sure of it. I mean, they're just right there. It's free meat.
Free meat.
The guy who's from Australia? Well, I'm sorry. What was you? I should have done more show
You can call me
research.
whatever you like.
Are you Andrew?
No.
You can call him
sadly,
anything
no.
but that.
Yeah, sausage sensei, Jesus.
I am Jackson. You can call me Jackson because that is my name.
Yeah, what's going on down there? Do you know most people in America? They think of Australia as like our Disneyland. You got the
What does that mean?
It's like an imaginary place. It's filled with fairy bread and what's the cuisine like going on down there?
Yeah, this is something I've actually thought long and hard about. We don't have a cuisine. We just take food from every other location, mainly like Asia, like Japan, and we just take their food. Like, I live off sushi pretty much. We don't have any actual Australian cuisine. I guess barbecue.
No, you do. You have Vegemite and Grubbity Dubbities or Witchity.
Witchity grubs.
grubs.
Witchity grubs, which we don't eat. Like, that's more for the bushwhackers, we call them, out in the middle of nowhere.
And you just dropped the slur. What the fuck is that?
Bushwhacker.
That's such a cool name.
It's a term for someone who lives out in the bush. I hope. I'm pretty sure.
I don't think bushwhacker's offensive. I think that's what that actually is. I think you're good.
Alright, good. I fucking hate Australian slang and shit, so don't quote me on that. But yeah, we do eat we have what are called bunning snags, which are like sausages in a blanket, I believe they're called in America.
Pigs in a blanket?
Yeah, pigs
Yeah,
in a
yeah,
blanket.
that one.
Yeah, those are fucking delicious.
Yeah, they are good. That's one of our main, like, one of our Australian pastimes is we go down to Bunnings every Sunday, chuck a $2 coin at the person making the sausages, and then we get a sausage in a blanket, or whatever you call it, pig in a blanket, and they're yum. So yeah, that's what our cuisine is mostly. It's just taking other things and doing it as lazy as possible.
But you also eat all this fancy like kangaroo shit, right? Like kangaroo tails and such.
No. Well, you can eat kangaroo, but no one, like, it's not common or anything. Same with crocodile.
Crocodile? Really? Crocodile's not common? Because crocodile and alligator are really tasty. Like
They just taste like dry chicken.
In Florida, if you go to certain restaurants, especially like near the beaches, you can get alligator tail, and it's really good. I'm
That
kind of
is
surprised
actually-
you guys don't take advantage of your natural ecosystem.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, it's actually
like
very
our animals.
surprising that with all the critters you have running around, all the gigantic spiders and this fucking box jellyfish, you don't try to eat them at all. You just kind of take it.
Well, the bushwhackers do. The bushwhackers eat all kinds of insects and stuff out there. Like they like I said, they eat the witchetty grubs, which are just enormous protein-filled grubs. What do they turn into?
No one's ever
Cancer?
seen.
I don't know.
No one's ever seen any of them grow up. You just eat them as fast as you can.
They probably turn into emus or something.
Yeah, for all we know, they're saving the planet because if those things grow, they take over the entire continent.
Yeah. So that's what our cuisine is, Sausage Sensei.
So it's a real place. And the fairy bread, that's just a child, like our peanut butter and jelly sandwiches?
What are you, fairy bread?
Yeah.
That sounds more like an insult than bushwhacker.
Isn't that a thing? I did.
Yeah,
looks
like,
fairy bread.
what do you call it?
You
Yeah,
don't know
it's
what
like
fairy
bread.
bread is?
Oh.
It's bread that you put hundreds and thousands on.
What? God, your slang is so garbage.
Slang is fucking terrible.
Yeah.
For those of
What?
you who speak English, he's talking about sprinkles.
Sprinkles? How is that less?
Sprinkles is so much better than hundreds and thousands.
because you sprinkle
There's
it.
hundreds and thousands of them.
no, there's
I-
not.
I
There's
didn't know what he was
maybe a
talking
couple
about. I had no
hundred,
idea.
maybe.
There's hundreds and thousands of them.
No,
And
there's
you-
not. Every single
You-
thing that has sprinkles on it has maybe like 1,000 at the most. Come on.
So what came first? The word, the verb, or the act of sprinkling, or sprinkles as in hundreds and thousands? Which came first?
That is the most fucking non-profound question I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Well, which one came first, Charlie?
I imagine sprinkles. You guys fucking describe things like 2-year-olds. I'm taking a sickie. What am I going to eat for brekkie? Oh, look at these hundreds and thousands. That's what I'll call it. Fucking dumb. Just call it sprinkles.
Just because, yeah, even if yours is first doesn't mean it's good, Jackson.
Put them on my fairy bread. You're like the least intimidating culture on the planet. I'm
Hey,
actually,
I didn't call it fairy bread. I don't agree with that term.
I'm surprised you haven't been
But it's
conquered
called
yet.
fairy bread.
Who does Australia technically belong to? Are you guys like your own nation?
Britain.
Britain.
No, Britain.
Of course.
Well, technically we're our own nation, but we're still in the
Kaya,
Commonwealth.
do you not know the history of Australia in that regard? They were literally a fucking prison colony.
No,
where
I know
Britain would
that.
Ship off.
I just figured that at some
Yeah.
points they may have liberated themselves, but no, I'm just asking because I'm
Yeah,
genuinely surprised that.
we have our like 1901 was when we became our own country away from Britain.
Right. I
But
just
you
feel
missed
like
it so much. You put Britain's entire flag in your flag.
and if you didn't have their backing, I think some savage tribe would just take over, even just from within. The emu, you lost the fucking war to the emus, for God's sake.
Yeah, but we kind of did squash out the Aboriginals.
That la-di-da.
Yeah, so you see what I'm saying over here? Like they fought emus, they got fairy bread, and America's knowledge of Australia, it's not that strong. So it
That's how we like it. We like having our own like little space down here. America's not the center of everything. I'm so sick of this notion that America's the center of everything. Let us do our own thing down here. We're fine.
well, yeah, and then in the news, it was like 99% of Australia's on fire, and then you hear from people such as yourself.
Yeah,
and
but we dealt with that.
You're like, I don't even know. I had no clue.
How did you deal with that, by the way, Jackson? I don't think we ever...
We let it burn. We let it burn. We just let it burn to its completion.
That's a pretty good strategy, I guess.
Well,
Yeah,
didn't
it was all we could do.
Hey,
it
it
was like
worked.
historical
Didn't-
levels of fire.
Didn't Mother Nature kind of help out with the
Oh.
rain?
My recording dropped out, boys. Andrew, have you been recording the call?
Well, I can tell you where we can be now because I have to tell you boys something very important, and it's about the comfort and affordability of Mack Weldon clothing. Mr. Ordinary Sausage, do you happen to wear clothes?
Oh, all the time.
All the time. Wow, that's pretty often. Well, let me tell you about Mack Weldon then. Mack Weldon was founded because they wanted more out of men's basic wear and always questioned how something so essential could be such a pain in the ass to buy. Mack Weldon started from scratch and engineered their own fabric made sure the design process was meticulous so you can count on the fit being the same each time, and built a world-class customer experience, the difference being in the details. Mack Weldon is probably better than whatever you're wearing right this second, unless you're wearing Mack Weldon right now, in which case, congrats, you've broken even. Because Mack Weldon is a premium men's essential brand that believes in smart design and premium fabrics. Their basics, including socks, shirts, hoodies, underwear, and the new adjustable Storm Chaser rain jacket, really are the longest lasting, highest quality items on the market. Florida weather has gotten to the point now where it does this, every couple of times a year, where it's completely and utterly fucked. It will rain like crazy, storm super hard, then it'll get super hot. Then the next night it'll get extremely cold. Then it'll rain again. Then it'll get hot. Then it'll rain even harder. So that Storm Chaser rain jacket is super, super handy for someone like me and Charlie, who live in a place that's, going through perpetual hell right now. Mack Weldon values the loyalty of its customers, and that's why they've created the Weldon Blue Loyalty Program. You can create an account totally for free, place an order for any amount, never pay shipping again, and once you purchase $200 worth of products from Mack Weldon, not only will you continue to receive free shipping, but you'll start saving 20% on every order you make for the entire year.
So
I
basically,
personally love Mack Weldon. Yeah, go ahead, Kaya.
well, the more you use them, the cheaper it gets. Plus, I mean, now we're all not really supposed to go out and try on clothes anyway. And do you really want to go into a department store and try on clothing that possibly has been touched and just put on by somebody else anyway? Even if the stores did reopen right now, do you really want to catch the virus? Stay home. Just use Mack Weldon. Let it all comfortably. Their clothes are comfortable, and so is the delivery, right? Just let it all nicely be sent to you. If you don't like it, you can return it. And where do they go? MackWeldon.com,
Well, my friend.
promo code OP. Tell us.
That's correct. Well, if you want to consider yourself overpowered, or OP as people on the internet say, you can probably put on some Mack Weldon clothing. And as Kaya said, you can go to MackWeldon.com and enter the promo code OP for 20% off of your first order. That's MackWeldon.com, promo code OP. Get all the men's basics that you could ever possibly need.
Nice. So, Sausage, I wanted to toss this one to you. You're a family man, correct?
Yeah, a family guy, you may say.
That's nice. So, what does your family think of your newfound internet fame from sausage making? Have they always identified you as, like, the sausage guy? Like, is that maybe how you got your wife? Or is there, like, any big connection to sausages at the home?
No. At the home, it's a pretty much a sausage-free zone until it's time to make the sausage. Well, I mean, I'm not saying you bring a sausage into this house and that's it. You can hit the dirt or hit the road. It's just. I'm sorry. I lost what the hell I was saying. So no, I didn't meet Mrs. I didn't meet Mrs. Sausage through the fine art of sausage making. We met through the SPCA of all things. She was checking out a kitty, and I put the moves on her. But the kids.
You said, "Hey, I could make a sausage out of that."
At the time, the sausaging wasn't even a blip on my radar at that time. But the kids have absolutely no interest in watching any of the videos.
Huh.
Well, that's a shame. One day they're going to have to pass down the torch, man. You're going to have to give them the do's and don'ts of sausage making. It's like the Japanese bladesmith teaching their apprentices.
If you don't mind me asking, how old are your kids?
I got 4-year-old twins. They're 4-year-old girls.
Okay, so they're probably not old enough to be in that bracket of, whoa, YouTubers and YouTube and all that.
Whoa, he's making sausages.
Well, I disagree. They're big fans of like the crappiest YouTube shows you've ever seen.
Ooh, would you like to name some?
Well, I don't.
Was it like Finger Family?
I don't think I'm in any position to say which YouTube show is crap and which one's not. But it's they watch people just playing with slime.
There's
Jesus.
that phase. Have fun with that one.
Oh,
That's
God.
a whole rabbit hole.
What are they, children?
It's like, turn that off. What are you, like 4? Jesus.
Hey, what the fuck is this? Slap a sausage in her hand. That's what you need to be working on. Learning this.
A sausage made of slime. There you go. You've won your kids over.
Oh, yeah.
Yuck.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have to taste test it.
Well, you see someone playing with slime for 30 minutes, and they got 50 million views on the video, and you start rethinking your life.
Oh yeah, that'll really put the fear of God in you real quick when you see some of those weird numbers on that shit.
What's the story with that? If you're making children's programming on YouTube, are you not making money off of ads anymore? Is that how that works?
Yeah, I think they put the kibosh on that these days. I mean, they still make money through sponsors, but they can't make it off YouTube ads anymore.
Really? None?
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I've seen a drop in output.
Yep, they lost 90% of their revenue. So, they still make money from YouTube ads, but it's such a minuscule chunk to what it used to be.
Wasn't it because?
Oh yeah, I know.
Somebody bust open the story that there's just oodles and oodles of videos of naked children that were monetized on YouTube, so YouTube decided to cut funding altogether. No,
that's a big oversimplifying of what actually happened.
Well, no, you're both wrong.
happen?
It's a COPPA. COPPA is like an old law from the 90s that YouTube wasn't abiding by, where you can't put ads targeting children and getting their data, which YouTube was doing. So they got slammed, and they had to get rid of that, and they got fined $190 million.
Oh,
So
nice.
COPPA is the thing
ads.
where you can be charged on per children basis, right?
Yep.
So there's
That's right. I forgot.
each child on your service counts as one singular charge of $1 million in
so
fines or whatever.
they had to take
It's
away all
crazy.
those targeted ads on those children's videos, which destroyed that revenue for those people.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. It's actually surprising that they don't have some sort of a workaround loophole that they could have abused. We're not targeting the children, we're targeting the parents. That sort of a thing.
Yeah, I mean, YouTube has a history of just rolling over. Even a random YouTuber, if they say something mean about YouTube, YouTube will change its entire fucking policy about something. They just don't fight. They have so much money, they just don't bother.
Yeah, I mean, why should they? I guess they don't really care.
No.
Well, yeah, the difference between that green dollar sign and the yellow one, it's very significant.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
the,
yeah.
The 10K sausage special where I cut myself off from swearing, they demonetized me for that one.
For not
Really?
swearing, they demonetized you?
Yeah, for almost swearing, they got me. And then I even put in a request for a manual review, and they came back an hour later, and they said, no, that's staying yellow.
See, man, I'm so glad you've brought that up. I've gotten so frustrated with that lately, where every single YouTube channel has to blur out their swear words and censor certain things. You can't even discuss Nazis even in a historical context because YouTube will demonetize your video. It's insane.
Well, I think that's a little bit of a misunderstanding, though. Blurring yourself out or anything, that's not going to save you from getting monetized. It's even specified.
They still do it, though. That's the thing.
Yeah. Well, I think that's
They
just
take
out
any
of confusion.
Yeah, that's even worse then. You would think that, fine, I censored it there. Now if, Clueless McFuckhands doesn't know what the word Nazi is, then now they won't ever learn it from my video. You would think that would maybe get you by because that's how TV does it. They bleep stuff and blur stuff and shit. But God, it's just ridiculous how almost every single YouTuber, if they're trying to make a living on the platform especially, every one of their videos, they have to beep every swear word. They have to blur out certain stuff.
It's
they have
ruining
to,
art.
It is. It's just making everything shitty.
YouTube, I actually don't even put that on the YouTube themselves. They specify that blurring out those words and censoring it will not prevent demonetization. So if you want to say fuck or shit or big titties or something, you should just say it. It's the same as censoring it. It's just people being confused on how they enforce it. They are very clear, we don't give a fuck if you censor. You are still getting demonetized if you say those words. So there's no reason to censor.
That's ridiculous.
So sausage senpai. In the next one, I'm expecting some big F-bombs coming left and right. Real explicit.
Oh, yeah, no. I'm going to kind of rely on the minuscule, dimes and nickels that they send my way.
No potty mouthing. I feel
Yeah,
ya.
no potty mouthing and no bad talking, the hand that feeds me right now.
Yeah.
But what about your art?
What's that?
Well,
Speaking... Oh, hello?
Yeah, what happened?
I think he cut out.
I can hear you.
Oh,
Okay. We thought we lost you there for a second. I was gonna say, speaking of art that earns money, my piss pot has made $11 so far, boys. So
Really?
yeah, for all of you who laughed at me, for those who don't know, we plugged this on the bonus, but I now have a new podcast with my buddies Carl and Doug where all we do is just piss. They're 30-second
God
long
bless
episodes.
America.
God, somehow I don't know how it works. All we do is it's on Anchor.fm, and Anchor.fm is our only sponsor, so we just plug them while we're pissing, and it's made $11 so far. And I have no idea where the money is coming from. I don't know if this is some Chinese plot to take over America or something, where they're just seeding this money to people to make terrible podcasts, but it's working.
Little does Kaya know, if he checks the proper analytics, his podcast has like millions of listeners.
No, I have the analytics here, buddy.
Kaya.
It's 1.4 thousand listeners so far, total plays.
Whoa,
And it's pretty good.
Huge.
Wait, that's great.
Estimated audience 44. So those 44 people listened 1.4 thousand times to just us pissing.
Someone's just looping it in their basement.
God, you're
You
gonna have
got a bunch
such a
of
loyal
active
following.
fetishists.
Huh?
I said you're gonna have a loyal following, man. Those like water sports enthusiasts, they were gonna eat that shit up. How many urinating episodes do you have so far?
34. Oh,
You need to get a female guest.
I've been asking. For some reason, women aren't quite the degenerate fucking scumbags that men are, so they're not really into the idea. But if you guys know anyone,
All right, here's what you do. You can just piss and then claim it's a girl. Because what's the difference?
Because she has to be plugging Anchor FM and the Peapod.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Just use voice changing software.
yeah. Oh, I see somebody posted a draft 11 minutes ago. Must have been either Carl or Doug pissing at work.
For 11 minutes?
11 minutes
Yeah,
ago.
11 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Oh, 11 minutes ago.
It's like,
big
so the
difference.
software, the app tells me it's a draft to the episode, so I don't know if he was planning on improving the piss or what he was going to do with the draft, but it's not even a final episode.
He's just a little insecure. The stream wasn't strong enough for the Peapod's quality.
So that's a weird thing. I can literally just piss while saying every slur in the book and still somehow make $11, yet on YouTube you guys can't even censor your potty mouth.
Wait, where did this slur stuff come from? I thought it was just pissing and talking about Anchor FM.
Yeah.
Well,
Kaya
give me
rants
my
about the
stream
races.
example.
He rants about the races he hates while he takes a piss.
They're all of them. But so my point is still, they don't censor anyone. They genuinely don't seem to give a fuck. They'll monetize literally anything, which this was the experiment to prove that. Right? Just us pissing. No one seems to notice at Anchor.fm headquarters that, hey, these guys are just pissing in our audio files like this. All they upload is just piss. Like, should we pull the plug? Maybe ban them or something? No. Pay them.
Oh, they're one of our top earners. $11.
Yeah, you're one of the most popular shows.
Yeah.
You paid for the executive's holiday.
So
That is a great idea, though.
that brings me on to another topic I had for sausage, because now I just keep thinking about like a piss sausage or a pea-filled sausage. Mr. Ordinary Sausage, what do you think is the next level for your sausage crafting? Do you think you're going to branch away from food and maybe like making a dirt sausage or something? Or do you think you're just going to find more exquisite cuisines? What's the next step?
Yeah. You know, I made a decision early on. Early on, I've been doing this for like 3 months, but I made a decision when I first started doing the videos that I wasn't going to do anything that wouldn't be edible. Like I wasn't going to do any cat food sausages.
Dirt's edible.
Dirt's edible.
Well,
I mean, you won't
Yeah.
die, but
Well,
I mean, it's not good cuisine.
It would
Right.
it'd be disgracing his
so you
tools
said-
to put
I
dirt in
see,
there.
I see.
you said you don't want to make cat food sausages, but have you thought about making sausages for animals? Like just a special sausage your cats might like?
No, there's probably big money in that. I think sausages for dogs cost more than sausages for humans right now.
Really? Oh.
I'm gonna
That's
break.
really
I'm gonna break
sad.
into that more. Well, now I've been thinking about because people have been saying they want merch and a Patreon account or some way to support the show. And before I didn't want to do it because to me, people think of Patreon as a way to make extra money, but to me, I look at it as it's a way to do extra work. So I'm like psyching myself up to produce content, extra content for these people who want to give me their hard-earned money just to support the show. So I think what I want to do, one of the tiers I want to do, is a live stream of cooking, but like cooking, learning cooking. Like I want to like learn how to make that Japanese style egg, that Japanese omelet that goes over the rice and you cut down the middle and it looks like cheese falling out of it. You guys know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't have a clue.
Everyone sounds so lost. There's like a bunch of foreign cuisines that I want to try cooking. I think it'll be if I'm going to be learning how to do it anyway, let people watch me how to do it.
So your love is more for like cooking in general, like you want to learn how to cook as opposed to create more and more interesting sausages?
Oh, well, the sausage, it's going to be the mainstay of the show. Yeah, I'm going to be I want to make like an actual lobster sausage, like not just take a cooked lobster and grind it up, but actually try to make it work and try to make. I was going over the comments yesterday, and someone said, "How about a chicken tikka masala sausage?" And I said, "That sounds to me like that would be a fantastic sausage, but it wouldn't be good for the current format of the show of just taking fast food or sushi."
It's about ramping up the production, yeah.
Yeah, and another thing about that is, I'm limited about when I can record because I got the kids around, and with the quarantine even more so. So finding maybe putting some sort of studio in a shed or something so that I could at least record when I want to.
Sausage shed.
Ooh, like a sausage laboratory, like Jimmy Neutron's thing. You type in a code on his gardening tools.
That's the dream.
Pretty cute.
That's exactly what I want.
The sausage chute is like a slide leading down into his bunker.
Yeah, a sausage compound, if you will.
Like Walter White in
gods.
that underground meth laboratory. He's just got like these vats of sausage, raw ingredients and casings and shit.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm working on big things over here.
That's good, man.
That's fucking awesome, man.
Yeah, I hope that happens. Everybody
think
should
that,
just have a... Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I'm sure what you're about to say is more important than what I'm going to say.
Oh, no, that's never the case.
You're our guest. You're our guest, please.
Do you think that the ramen restaurants are set to be like the new sushi restaurants, like expand into like being like that, like a Starbucks? Like there's like a sushi restaurant on every corner now. Do you think that's going to be like what happens to ramen now?
Ramen's fucking delicious. So
I don't even like ramen.
What?
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
like
it's so
really
good.
low quality noodles. I'd rather just have like actual good noodles.
Like what?
Well,
Yeah,
that's
like
What?
noodles.
that's what the ramen.
That's what
shops
ramen is.
Yeah,
Ramen's really like low quality egg
Are
noodles,
you
right?
thinking about like fucking prepackaged ramen you buy from Sam's
2 minute-
Club? That's not the same
Well,
thing.
2 minute noodles.
Even like a ramen restaurant. I've been to quite a few. You and I went to one, Andrew.
Which-
We went in St. Pete. We went to like Ramen Raider Ron's or some shit like that, and there's like a bunch of like ramen shit.
Oh, yeah, I like that. That one's good.
I don't know. I don't really like ramen. It feels like the noodles are like cardboard. I'd rather just have other noodles, like even udon.
Yeah, udon's pretty good. Too.
Udon bangs.
Yeah, udon's really good too.
But to answer your question, Sausage, yeah, I imagine, because, I mean, ramen's huge. Everyone's eating ramen, and especially these days. I could definitely see ramen branching out even further and being a huge mainstay.
I think it's starting to get there. I think it's starting to be the new trend food. Like how avocado was the trend food for a while, where every restaurant had something with avocado, and then sriracha was a trend food. I think ramen's definitely becoming one.
Now, do you think this is because of the food itself, or because Japanese culture itself is on the rise? What with anime and like pop groups?
Are you
No,
saying
everything
James
has to
are-
do
Bizarre
with
Adventure
anime.
is selling ramen. You're right.
It's
Yeah.
quite the butterfly effect
Well,
for
no,
weeks
you
to
can't-
cause restaurants to expand. But
You can't say that Japanese culture isn't becoming more and more attractive as time goes on.
Oh, it absolutely is. I was just giving you shit.
yeah, maybe.
I'll go
what
on
do you
record and
think,
say I don't think anime is driving ramen sales or anything.
Oh my god, you're taking my words out of context here. That's not what I said at all. I never mentioned anime specifically as being a rising cause for ramen shops. I'm just saying people like Japanese culture now.
I see. Oh, now it makes more sense.
What do you think, Mr. Sausage? What
Yeah,
to
do you
you
agree?
stands out as like food trends, or what's
And
going
do you
on
like
in the world of
anime?
food to you? And do you like anime? Yeah, answer both at the same time.
Yeah, I never got into anime, so I can't really speak much to that. But I think we're going to see some big things out of ramen because it's a very popular staple among the youth of America, and so when they see that there's a little fancier alternative made by like an actual chef and not a microwave, then I think that's set to be the next sushi trend, or not sushi trend, but the next restaurant trend.
It's a real underdog story too, because most people in America, maybe not now, but for a while, the ramen just meant like Maruchan or whatever you fucking bought at Costco, that little shitty dollar stuff. But now everyone's saying, "Oh, you can make really nice, good ramen. Awesome, I'll take it." So, I love ramen.
I definitely think that like anime as such leads to an increased appetite for Japanese food. It happened to me when I played through Final
That's
Fantasy.
literally the point I fought you on. You said, no, that's not what I said, Charlie.
I didn't say that then. But now that I'm thinking about it, it is true. Like
Yeah.
I was playing Final Fantasy VII remake, and I wanted Japanese food all throughout that for some reason.
Do you even
I don't know what
do
it
you
was.
even eat Japanese food in that game?
No.
That's weird as
Yeah, you
fuck,
do.
Jackson.
It's still
Like,
anime. It's still
I-
like it's still weeby shit. So you kind of correlate
that's
with.
that's kind of weird.
You do.
Because like
correlation
I
would be-
play Yakuza, and in the game you literally go to restaurants and eat like takoyaki and sushi and fried stuff, and it's like, oh, I want that. That looks so good. But in Final Fantasy, I'm pretty sure you don't eat at all in the entire game. Why would that make you crave ramen?
There's
There's ramen shops along what's Sector 7 or whatever. There's places there.
I
but you
think
don't
your
like-
brain
definitely
just
go for
goes. You're playing Final Fantasy, and your brain just goes Japanese ramen.
Yeah, you racist.
Yeah, weeb stuff. Yeah. Whoa, how is that racist? The Japanese are known for ramen.
You assume that's
their
all
cuisine.
they eat? They don't eat like other foods too?
What?
You play Final Fantasy and go, oh, I have to have ramen. That's the only food in Japan.
Well, I also wanted sushi.
Way better, yeah.
That's weird though,
And
Jackson.
udon.
Typically the correlation would be like, wow, look at all these Japanese anime babes. I'm gonna go watch
There
hentai.
there was definitely that as well. I won't lie. There was that correlation as well. But mostly the food. Same with Persona 5. Playing through Persona 5 right now.
Well, yeah. I get
That's
Persona
got a lot
5.
of
You spend a lot of
Japanese
time
food.
in like Japanese like coffee shops and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That makes more
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. But
So-
yeah, Japanese food is great.
To branch on that, Mr. Sausage, speaking of Japanese food and other foods and craving other foods, what is your favorite cuisine?
I would have to say that Asian American cuisine is my favorite kind of cuisine, and I preface that with saying Asian American and not just Chinese food is because every asshole in the world is going to say that Chinese food that you're eating, that's not actual Chinese food. They don't consider what you're eating to be Chinese food, and so now I just say American Chinese or American Asian food, and it's really a part of American culture, I think, at this point. I think I read something that said that there were more Chinese restaurants than there were McDonald's combined. So in America, at least,
When do you think we're going to start exporting our American Chinese food to China?
Oh man, as soon as
Soon, I
possible.
hope. Yeah.
Okay. I don't think that I've ever actually eaten anything that was authentic Chinese cuisine. Like I don't think I've been to a Chinese restaurant that wasn't an American Chinese restaurant.
This is just a question mostly at Andrew, because you are, for a while, you were obsessed with the place. But does North Korea have a cuisine?
They
any
do,
culture to
and it's
speak of?
called starvation.
Yeah. I've heard of that one.
So North Korean cuisine is, God, how do I describe it? Most people who go say the food tastes like you're eating a Hungry Man dinner. Their cuisine is a microwave.
But like
Pretty
even the
much.
wealthy, I mean, because the politicians and such, I'm sure at least they get to eat. I wonder if they have an actual cuisine or something.
I'm sure it's like the same as Chinese cuisine.
No, it's
just done
more
worse.
it's more akin to, well, yeah, there is Chinese stuff in there, but it's also akin to a lot of South Korean stuff, I think. But I don't really know. I don't think they have a cuisine. I think their cuisine is just, hey, we have this food item. It's not like traditional North Korean dish or any of that.
Apple.
Yeah.
That's the appeal. Is just it's food.
Yeah,
But I gotta
that's
complain.
literally how it is for most of them. Well, speaking of North Korea, I'm glad you brought that up. Kim Jong-un's probably dead.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. That's some
Well-
real weird shit out of left field, but there he goes.
Yeah, and I'm already seeing people simp for his fucking ugly ass sister with the gigantic balding forehead, and she's gonna apparently take over, which is probably the reason they're not just pretending that he's alive and well like they did with his dad. Didn't they like pretend for years that his father was alive after the man died?
They are doing that. They are doing that to a degree. So most reports that are coming out, again, nothing's really confirmed, but most people analyzing it are saying, yeah, he's fucking dead. Like there's a 95% chance he just died on the operating table. But North Korea is officially saying right now he is enjoying a well-deserved staycation and is just hiding away from the public eye and taking a break. So
There were reports that people had, like, from North Korean news sites or whatever, saying that people had seen him like vacationing at a beach, which is pretty. Like, there's two extremes here. One where he's like on the beach sipping mai tais or whatever, and then the other is where he's dead. So which is
Yeah.
Well, the one that's
like-
the most damning evidence to me is for a long time there's only been one Steam user in all of North Korea, like Steam video game platform, and
What a weird
it was in the
metric to
capital
find.
Pyongyang, and everyone speculated that that's Kim Jong-un's computer. He's playing fucking like Counter-Strike and shit. When the news of his death came out, that Steam user went offline. I'm not
gamers
making
have
this
done
up.
it. We've cracked the code.
So that's the evidence that convinces me he's fucking dead.
So I'm trying to read up on
his
it.
Steam account.
It says apparently he had a heart attack or something, and then during cardiovascular surgery, the surgeon kind of apparently fucked up, which means he's gonna get tortured eternally.
Yeah.
That's pretty much
so,
it.
So what I didn't know about him for a long while, like I knew he was a pretty fat guy, like just a chubby boy, but he is a pretty large man. He was about 300 pounds, and I think around Charlie's height. So he's pretty round. And then on top of that, he was a constant smoker. And he ate like complete garbage, like fast food and all that shit, like obviously imported or what the fuck ever. So basically the dude having to have heart surgery was incredibly high risk. So it probably just someone fucked up, or I don't know, his body fucked up or something fucked up, but definitely likely he's just dead. So yeah.
Yeah, no, they're probably some body on the Chinese medical team. So China sent a medical team over to North Korea to save the fat fuck. God knows why, just probably to make sure that there's, not less evil in the world, as China does. And one of them divulged that he's now brain dead. I'm reading here.
Wow.
Cool.
All I know is if this means I don't get any more North Korean propaganda music, I'm going to be disappointed. That shit's bangers.
No, man, have you seen his sister? She looks like the most soulless husk of she looks like someone a ghost would run away from. Like an absolute alien, and I think she's gonna be even more evil. I wouldn't hold my breath. I think we're gonna still see a lot of propaganda out of that place.
Yeah. Do you have any
yeah.
Do you have any weird fascinations, maybe sausage related, Mr. Ordinary Sausage? Like we mentioned earlier, I'm obsessed with North Korea, and we all have our own little things. Do you have any little intricacies that you're into?
No.
Okay.
He has no interest
but-
outside of sausage.
You know what I have been thinking about though is, Iron Chef, the original Japanese one.
Ooh,
That's a
great
good
show.
show.
God, that
I've been
was it. That
watching
was
that
just-
for the last 2 weeks.
That's like the craziest show on the planet, and then it just all of a sudden went away, and then the Americans tried to do it, and it was never as good as the Japanese one.
They've been broadcasting every episode on Twitch now. I have it on in the background while I do stuff. I'm obsessed with that show too. I love it.
The Japanese one?
Yeah,
Oh.
the Japanese one, every episode,
Oh, I'm gonna go check that
back
out.
to back.
You
should.
It's good because they take they use live animals on that show, and so,
They do.
They dispatch of
sometimes.
them, on the camera. So you're watching these, monsters of the sea get hacked apart, and it's a good anatomy lesson.
One of the funny ones that always gets me is they often use shark fin in a lot of the dishes.
Oh, yeah.
So
Or do they have to go out and hunt the sharks?
yeah, they give them a harpoon.
Swaps to a rowboat out in the middle of the fucking ocean.
But what's funny is like today there's a whole bunch of controversy around shark fin. Like Gordon Ramsay did a whole expose, and like everyone's like, yeah, shark fin is cruel and terrible torture for the sharks, and it's awful and it's a horrible market. But on this show that was filmed in the 90s, whenever they get it, the whole like audience and panel are like, ooh, shark fin looks delicious, a great delicacy, I can't wait. They're all excited about it.
Yeah, I remember watching that Gordon Ramsay special, and it's really disturbing what they did. And I think it was so disturbing that it actually did have an impact in China, where they do that a
Really?
lot. Yeah, and so like sales are down for shark fin in China because they didn't know that they just cut the fins off and then let the sharks go to the bottom of the sea.
Wow. It's pretty funny also that you mentioned earlier that you were talking about specifically Asian American and American style Chinese food. I was watching an episode a couple days ago, and one of the chefs was making sushi, and he said, I'm going to do something crazy. I'm going to deep fry it. I know that's radical. And all the commentators were like, wow, he's doing an American style. This is kind of unusual. And it's just funny how much culture has shifted that now deep fried sushi's pretty
I prefer it.
mundane.
I like cooked sushi more.
Yes, it's something we do here constantly, all the time.
You deep fry everything in America, though.
That's true.
the beauty
That's
of
true,
it.
yeah.
It's culture grease.
Well, it's funny.
Culture grease.
It's the amount of mayonnaise. I figured that mayonnaise and rice and cold fish shouldn't go well together, and that's all we do as Americans. And we just try to shove as much cream cheese and mayonnaise on our sushi as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Works
Yeah.
well.
Well, I do believe cream cheese is strictly an American sushi thing. I think they don't use cream cheese at all in Japanese actual sushi.
Well, that's good to hear because I'm not a big fan of like the Philadelphia rolls or like the bagel rolls, or if that's the same thing.
I actually like the sushi with the cream cheese in it, but then again, like I said, I prefer the cooked stuff most of the time anyway. Yeah. So this brings me to, well, this doesn't like lead into the question at all, but you're filming your webcam for this episode, right, Mr. Sausage Senpai?
Oh yeah.
Is it we can't see you for the listeners at home. We don't have it set up so we can see each other. Are you doing a face reveal right now? Have you come in like full Ron, no rubber with your face out, or is it still cropped like the elusive man?
Oh, it's still cropped like the elusive man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's fine.
Charlie and I we spoke off air a little bit about that, and I haven't really decided whether or not I wanted to show my face or not. And it's not a privacy issue. I got no problem with people seeing my face or anything. It's just I'm worried that it'll affect the comedy of the show because I feel like a piece of it is not knowing who the sausage guy is,
The mystery.
the mystery of the sausage guy, if you will.
Oh, maybe put on a sausage mask. Something.
Sausage outfit, yeah.
Yeah, mask
That'd be
out of
cool.
sausages.
No, speaking of what, I saw one of your YouTube Twitch live streams, Charlie, and it was the masked cook.
Yeah, the mystery chef.
God,
yeah.
that was the grossest. That was the grossest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, the What was cooking ecosystem on YouTube is a cesspool. If you do branch out from sausages into just like learning cooking, you are going to be the cream of the crop. Your competition will be binging with Babish and nothing else. Well, what was so disgusting about this video? Well, you can explain, I guess. You'd know better than I. Sausage.
There's a lot of salt, and salt brings liquids out of foods, and so everything she was dumping salt on, it just got really soggy really quickly. And like she was speaking about it like it's the most delicious thing ever, and like I'm sure the food wasn't expired, but it definitely looked questionable. And
the
I
expiration
actually had to
date
turn
leaved
it
a lot
off.
to be
I got grossed out by it.
It offended you so greatly, you had to turn it off. That's the first.
That's right. Yeah. So even the sausage guy, some foods are even too disgusting for him to look at.
So actually, that's a question I did want to ask. What is the most disgusting thing that you've made? Because I'm not sure. I haven't watched many of your videos personally. So, what is the most disgusting thing you've made?
The most disgusting thing was probably the Vienna sausages, the Vienna sausage, which it was just Vienna sausages in a sausage. But I made the mistake of keeping the liquid that it comes in, and it turned out to be like just the saltiest tasting thing of mush that you've ever can imagine. It's like Fry from
was like
Futurama when he says, it's the saltiest thing I ever tasted, and I once ate a big bowl of salt. It was exactly like that.
That was the one video. Well, not the one, but that was a video that I disagreed with you on. I think Vienna sausages bang. I can't imagine putting it in the sausage casing could ruin it. I couldn't imagine.
I love Vienna sausages too.
Oh, so then something must have truly gone awry in the creation then.
Well, no, I'm telling you, it was that liquid. So much of the sodium was located in that liquid. So when you eat Vienna sausages right out of the can, you're usually not pouring the liquid into your glass and eating it. So it was mainly that. If I do it again, because a lot of these I want to go back and do, because the ones that got a low rating, because there's things that affected the score, like maybe there was too much potato product in it. Like I know with the French fries, that usually kills the flavor of everything else. But in the last video, or not the last video, the Arby's video, I said that I wanted to start making sausages still using the food, but try to make the best sausage I can. And the response to that was overwhelmingly negative. They want me to keep making what I'm making. And they said, no, we don't want you to make the best sausage you can. We want you to stick that Big Mac down the grinder. We want to see what that looks like.
Morbid curiosity. Yeah.
So have you thought about expensive things, just in to go to the other end of the spectrum instead of fast food, like
caviar?
Yeah, like call up a very expensive restaurant, order their most expensive item, then have it delivered to your door, or go there after the quarantine and just try to turn that into a sausage, maybe in front of them, make them weep, or make the chef watch.
So you've been thinking about this fantasy a while, or is this just pop into your head?
I'm touching myself as we speak.
Oh, me too. I want to make more episodes, but yeah, if I make more episodes, there's only so many times you can watch the same format over and over again in the same week. So I would probably branch out, and that's why I spoke to Charlie a little bit about showing my face, because then it would allow me to do more things, have more freedom with the camera to show more stuff.
Yeah, especially when it comes to cooking stuff, shows like that, to stick in that wheelhouse. At the end of the day, man, you're making great stuff, and it's just a matter of you having fun with it and continuing.
Yeah, as long
in
as you're
pursuit.
happy, that's all that matters, sausage man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm having a blast doing all this, and I tell everyone I can't believe I feel like I got a horseshoe up my ass, and all of a sudden all these wonderful things are happening, relatively quickly, and it's been a fun ride, and I realize how much I don't know about everything. Again, I learned most of my stuff from watching Charlie's videos, so I didn't know what a simp was. There's a whole world going on out there online that I just had no access to until I finally dipped my toes in the water. And it's very
ignorance
expansive.
is bliss in this respect.
Yeah, trust me, your life will not be improved in any way by knowing this.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm
Some things
finding out,
aren't
because
worth
it's like every other video, Charlie's got another video about how Twitter's a cesspool and you shouldn't go into that. And then for the podcast, he said we were using Discord, and then the next hour I found a video he made a year ago saying Discord was a cesspool. It's the worst place on the planet. So it sounds like every place is a cesspool.
Yeah, well,
It is.
you got to be careful. There's pedophiles on the internet. There's scary people, furries even.
Yeah, they even have chat apps.
Hey, is anyone still playing Animal Crossing, or is that over and done with?
I think it's
No,
over
that's
and
still
done
huge,
slowly.
bro. No.
Still?
Wait, Clay, you were just talking about Animal
Yeah,
Crossing.
what the fuck are you talking
Yeah,
about?
it's still going.
Yeah, but I don't just 10 minutes here or there on a toilet. It's not.
That's still playing it though. That's still in
It's
the
not the new hotness anymore, but people are still putting hundreds of hours into it.
Yeah, it's
No,
still
so I
fucking
would
huge.
say when you say playing, like I go on Twitter and I see these immaculate layouts that people put on their fucking islands. They're just insane. I mean, they must be, not that I'm judging, but they must be putting in so much time to deck out their islands and make it look beautiful. But I also thought it was kind of winding down. The hype about
I'd
it.
still estimate it's like the top three of played Switch games right now for sure.
I could agree with that.
Yeah.
Are you a gamer yourself, Mr. Sausage?
Yeah, no, that's the funny thing about it is I have a Nintendo Switch. That's the only gaming that I have. The only gaming device I have. I don't have a gaming PC or any of the big consoles like the Xbox or PS whatever number they're on.
Hey, a gamer's a gamer no matter how small.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
wait, is this your first gaming console? Is the Switch your first console?
Oh no! Well, when I was a kid, I had started off with a Nintendo Entertainment System and moved my way up from there. But I would say after college is when I dropped off. So for like the past 10 plus years, I haven't really been too much into gaming. But when a monster game like Animal Crossing comes out for the Switch, I hold on to that and I try to keep the momentum going for that because finally I'm I could play what everyone else is playing. Like when Red Dead Redemption came out, I was the only person who wasn't playing that game.
I thought you were going to say I was the only person playing that game. I was like, I got news for you.
No. Oh, Red Dead Redemption 2. So when I got the Switch, I wanted to make sure that I was on board that Animal Crossing, but I haven't seen too many more videos about that.
I think it's still like huge on Twitch.
Yeah,
It's definitely still huge.
Yeah, no.
Definitely.
You can definitely still relate to the gamers out there if you say like Tom Nook's a greedy bastard or something.
Yeah.
This is a Tom Nook sausage and it's just crumbled up dollar bills or something.
Yeah, for sure.
Am I going to get anything for donating all of this shit to the museum?
No, it's just your own sense of pride and accomplishment.
Oh, I could have been selling all that.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's always how it works.
Welcome to Animal Crossing, where everything you do has no point whatsoever.
Only the point that you make it. Your own goals.
All right, should we wrap?
How long have we been going? Because my shit, like I said, I didn't get like the first 20
little
minutes.
over an hour.
Yeah, we've got enough time.
Okay.
We can wrap if you guys are ready.
Yeah, unless you guys had any last minute topics. Did you have anything you wanted to toss our way, Sausage, in this Thunderdome?
Oh, well, I think it's fitting that we're ending because I think the audio just cut off again. So if that was you saying, do I have anything to say for the end? Thanks for having me on the podcast, and hope we could do this again sometime. And maybe at that point I'll be showing my face, so people will have something better to look at when the video comes out than just my enormous breasts. So.
Oh, they're not enormous breasts. They're toned breasts of a master sausage maker.
All right. Well, I'm glad everyone heard that and it didn't break up.
Of course.
Do you want to shout out your stuff, Sausage?
Where can they
shout out
find
your
you?
channel?
Oh yeah, it's youtube.com. What is it? /ordinary sausage? I don't even know my own stuff. And Twitter. I'm on Twitter too, even though it's a cesspool and I shouldn't bother with it. Next video will be out on Tuesday, and I put it out there on Twitter. Which sauce I should use, either the honey mustard or the barbecue sauce for the next sausage.
Vote now on what sauce you'd like to see him use. Perfect.
Well, I should have made a
you
poll,
can check
but
out-
you can't make a picture and a poll at the same time, so I just threw a picture out there.
Oh, I get you. That still gets it done. All right. Well, thank you, man. Appreciate you coming on. Take us out, Jackson.
All right, you can check out Sausage's stuff down in the description. We'll have a link to his channel down there, so you can check that out. If you want to check out us over at patreon.com/theofficialpodcast, you can. We have bonus episodes over there. A lot of bonus episodes, bonus content out the arsehole, pretty much. There's so much bonus shit over there. Go check that out. Thank you for joining us this week. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.